day will be Friday, no.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Nzali, and this is Nzali Takes Africa. Yay! I am so excited to come to you today. This is a special day. This is a very, very special day because today I am starting a new segment here on this channel. And that segment was inspired by one of my OG favorite YouTubers. Her name is Roxanne. Her channel is It's Rocks. I have been watching her for, it gotta be getting close to like 7 to 8 years now. And she has this segment on her channel called Top of the Blogs, where she just kind of talks about things that are coming up on the blog sites. And because this channel is dedicated to sharing everything with you about Africa, I figured I should have a Top of the Blogs. So not only do you get to hear my experience, you also get to hear some of the news cycle things and blog cycle things that are happening on the African continent. All right. So again, welcome. For those of you who are new to this channel, I'm Nzali. I am a teacherpreneur who transformed my life by moving to the African continent in 2015. So if you want to know how to live, how to work, or to play on the African continent, this is the channel for you. This is our first edition of Top of the Blogs. And to start us off, I want to start off with some celebratory news. There is some good news that is in the atmosphere. Let me see if you know what it is about a song I'm about to sing. Okay, let me see. Me. Shosholoza zulezintaba simela ununa baleka. I know who is gonna know that song. Yes, congratulations to my South African rugby team. They are now the world champs for rugby. Rugby is like football without the pads, American football without the pads, right? So those dudes are like hecka tough, you see their thighs, the thigh meat is thigh meat, and they look strong. And if you've ever seen rugby, it is not for the weak. It is not for the faint of heart. So I just wanted to start off the video with a little celebration, singing one of the songs that I learned when I was in South Africa, and I really, really loved it. My South African, if I pronounce something incorrectly, please forgive me. Charge it to my head, not my heart. It's been a while. But yes, congratulations to their rugby team. I know this was a big win for them, a big win for the country. So shout out to you all. Now, speaking about celebratory moments, there is some diaspora news that is really, really picking up. Let me go ahead and pull it up so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Let me share really quickly. Oh, do I want to start with? I'm going to start with them. So shout out to Kenya, because I think it was around sometime last week, they announced that they are going to have a visa-free entry for African nationals. So that means whether you're coming from Morocco, Sierra Leone, Gabon, South Africa, DRC, Chad, yeah, I can go down the list, okay? No matter where you're coming from on the continent of Africa, you can enter Kenya visa-free. They said by 2024, top of the year, they want to roll out this plan. Now, not only has Kenya said that, then guess who else decided that they wanted to join the chat? Okay, who else wanted to join the chat? Let me pull them up. Can y'all see them yet? Okay, hold on. Let me add it. Let me see. Y'all know I'm learning this system here. So y'all bear with the sister. Okay, so who else is joining the chat is Rwanda. And see, Rwanda has been making some waves here recently. Okay, Rwanda has not been playing with us. So they said, okay, Kenya's in the chat. Our brothers and sisters are in the chat. Okay, so now we want to join it too. We also are going to be visa free for Africans. So how did all of this come about? So the African Union has made this initiative to have like a open Africa for Africans as a part of their, I think it's 2063 plan. And so this is something that the African Union had been pushing, but only 3 countries had actually enacted something similar. That was Seychelles, that was Benin, and the Gambia, right? However, those 3 countries, I mean, people know of them, of course, but they're not like, well, outside of Seychelles, the rest of them aren't really like big tourist spots, right? Places that people are just like, yeah, I'm going to Benin tomorrow. I'm flying to the Gambia today. Like those are not countries that you hear frequently. So I don't think it picked up as much steam. But now you have 2 major players in East Africa who are saying, okay, we've heard the African Union and we think that it is something that we should do. We want other Africans to be able to travel without adhering to these European-made borders, i.e. from the Berlin Conference. So they have said that they are opening up their country for Africans to travel without visas. What does that mean for us? That means less fees, less processes and time that it'll take you to enter into those countries, because all you need to do is show your passport, buy your ticket, book your hotel, Airbnb, whatever the case may be, and show up. From what I have been seeing, this is geared towards tourist visas. They haven't spoken about work permits and residency and things like that as of yet. However, with this first step, I believe that those conversations are definitely coming. And the reason I think it's pretty cool that Kenya and Rwanda are doing this is because it's kind of like, you know how we have a brain drain where a lot of Africans leave Africa to find opportunity? I think once we start opening up our borders more to each other, we'll start to find opportunity amongst ourselves, and we won't be exporting our talent. We'll keep it in-house within the African continent. So I believe that this is going to be good for economic reasons. I believe it's going to be good for trade. I believe it's going to be good for breaking down barriers amongst ourselves. So I'm hopeful that other African countries will take note. I also wanted to mention that there's always been like things amongst the regions, right? So like ECOWAS, which are the West African countries, they can travel. You can travel within West Africa without visa. Because I also hold an ECOWAS passport, that means I can travel throughout Western Africa without having to have a visa. East Africa, a few East African countries have had that as well, but we've never had it like across the different regions. So I'm excited to see how Kenya and how Rwanda rolls this thing out. And, you know, just to see how they, how should I say, how they execute this plan, because I think the rest of the continent is watching. I think the other countries are watching. I saw some remnants of Ghana mentioning something about that they're thinking about doing the same. So I feel like, okay, we have 2 from East Africa, we get 1 in West Africa. Maybe we get some Southern and Northern African countries or Central African countries to do the same. I think little by little, we will definitely get there. All right. Now, y'all know I love you, but I need you to like this video. I'm going to be giving y'all some really good content today. Okay, I'm going to be telling you all the hot topics. So I need you to like this video. If you have not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And if you are subscribed, share it with your people and become a member. All right. So with that being said, also, what I didn't mention is that for those African Americans who've come to Ghana and now have a Ghanaian passport, this is also something that's good for you, because maybe some of those countries you did need a visa to go to, and now you won't need that visa. So this is a win-win for all of us. All right, so what else are we going to get in today at the top of the blogs? Okay, I want to talk about another West African country. That particular country is Nigeria. Nigeria has some pretty cool things happening right now. And one of those things, I believe that this person, Don Hote, you've heard, if you have listened to Burna Boy, then you know Don Hote, right? Don Hote, Don Hote, who I be, who I be. So you've heard his name, but you're probably like, who the heck is Don Hote? Well, Don Hote is a very, very, very rich Nigerian. I think he's like one of the richest on the continent. And he has done something that is, I think, a huge step in the direction of Africans taking control of our resources. So he commissioned the building of a refinery in Nigeria. I believe that was in May. So they have started constructing this refinery, and I want to make sure I get it right. This refinery can produce or refine up to 650,000 barrels of oil a day. Now, if you know anything about Nigerians' economic status and their natural resources, you know that Nigeria is a very, very big oil producer. But the issue has been that they have natural oil, they send it out to be refined and then buy it back, or do they buy it back? Or I think that's Ghana. But either way, they have to bring it back into their country after it has been refined somewhere else, which comes at some type of cost, right? Same way in Ghana, we have oil, we send it out to be refined, and then we bring it back in. Well, Don Hote said, not on my watch. I ain't rich for nothing. Okay. And he built an oil refinery. And so the NNPC, they have decided that they're going to supply him with I think it's 250,000 barrels per day for testing. So they're about to start testing the machinery that's going to refine the oil. Once they finish testing, then they should be able to open. So what does that mean for Nigeria? That means that they're not going to have to look for other people for their oil. They can sell to other African countries. They could chop the price in half if they want to. So this is a big economic move. I am super excited. I really hope that the testing goes well. I hope that all the kinks are worked out throughout this process, and that, we're able to actually take our natural resources on the African continent and flip them here instead of exporting them out, having someone else refine them, and then we have to buy it back from them. So this is a step towards our own personal industrial revolution, and Nigeria is definitely leading the charge in that. And it's one man, right? So you have a lot of Africans who are on the continent who have wealth, right? People don't know, and some people do know, but what are they doing with that wealth? So I like the fact that he's like, you know what? I got the money. Let me build this oil refinery. Is he going to make money off of it? Absolutely, right? It's going to build his personal wealth, but at the same time, it's also going to create jobs. It's also going to put Nigeria in a better economic situation. So I am here for it. Now, speaking of Nigeria, y'all know we got to talk about it. Afro Nation, but no Africa. I want to know what's going on. I really do, because at first, Afro Nation, the coordinator or the founder, he was online talking about Afro Nation is not coming to Ghana this year. There was no investment from the country, basically, or not enough investment from the country to make sure that they could have the production that they have set the standard for themselves now. And then they announced that, okay, Afro Nation will be in Lagos this year. And so we're like, okay, cool. That's our next door neighbors. Like, okay, we're going to go to Nigeria this year. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, Afro Nation is canceled. We believe that we're not going to be able to provide the standard that we're accustomed to in Lagos. And so now I'm just sitting there looking at them like, I got my good eye on Afro Nation. Because I don't understand. I'm a little confused. Is the money running low? Do you not think you're going to recoup, right? Because Afro Nation has been in Portugal, they've been in the States, I believe in Miami and Detroit. So is it that you feel like you're not going to make your money in Africa? Is it that you feel like the quality of your production is decreasing? And that also brings me to something else, because I've heard this a few times about African artists like the Wiz Kids, the Burna Boys. You know, once they leave and start to do these big arenas and all that kind of stuff, and they have been exposed to some bigger productions. What's the East African guy? Diamond Platinum Diamond. I can't remember his name, but even him, you know, playing these big spaces. So now it's like, okay, they're used to a certain quality mic. They're used to a certain type of production. Then they come back to the continent and they're not able to get that. Does that mean now that they can't perform at home? Or does that mean that we need to up our level of production and quality so that our superstar artists get superstar treatment even when they're at home? I don't know what's going on with Afro Nation, but I don't like the fact that there's an Afro Nation and no Africa. Okay, I mean, the whole heartbeat of Afro Nation is Afrobeats music and African music, you know? And so how can we have that and not be, you know, in Africa at some point? Like, I don't know. I just find that to be a bit funny. So I'm hopeful that Afro Nation gets it together. I'm hopeful that maybe next year they'll make their way back to the continent somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm just hopeful that it'll be somewhere. All right, now I do have a little bit of you know, I don't want to say it's bad news, but you know, it's not the best news. Okay, so Mother Nature is not that happy with us. You know, I saw recently, I think it was yesterday, that South Africa had a huge hailstorm. That was what I saw. Let me just pull it up. And so typically, you know, you don't really see these type of things that, you know, like in the States, we always have tornadoes, we always have hailstorms, snowstorms, mudslides, wildfires, hurricanes, earthquakes, everything you can think of, we pretty much have, right? And so it was interesting to see this in South Africa. You know, I pulled this from one of their websites, but it looked like hail, it looked like a little bit of snow. And technically, this is supposed to be going towards their summertime. So it's interesting to see this coming up at this time when we're supposed to be heading into summer and having less of the precipitation per se. So that was pretty interesting. So I'm like, what's going on? I also have noticed that in Ghana, we also have been having a lot of rain that we just don't typically have, right? So because of the excess rain, well, I'm not going to say strictly because this is the reason that the government has given us, so we just going to roll with it. Okay, I don't know what the truth is, but this is what we're going to go with because that's what they've said. I don't want to get in no trouble. Okay, so we have been having heavy rains and raining a little longer than it should be, right? So typically we're going into our dry season. We should be heading towards Hamilton in December, but we're still having rain. So because of the additional rain, two of our major dams, our Akosombo Dam and our Pong Dam, have basically reached their maximum capacity of water. And so the Volta River Authority has decided to slow release some of that water. Now, that slow releasing has caused some flooding. So in the Volta region, we have some communities that have been totally just kind of taken out, some that are under warnings, and the Volta River Authority is saying that they're going to continue. I think it was Easter Da that has had some issues, like, you know, so my people who are in Ghana, let's be careful. If you have property in Volta region, if you have family, if you know, just like to go and vacation in Volta, which I do, just be mindful that we are having a lot of issues when it comes to our water situation. The dams being there's a strategic spillage of the dams. So just be careful, y'all, and let's take care of our environment. That's the moral of the story. If we take care of our environment, we don't have as many what do we call it? Spillages, extra rain, weather we can't predict, all of that kind of stuff. Because all of this is coming up with this global warming stuff. I'm just being honest with you. I know we don't want to say it, but that's the truth. Let's take care of our environment. Let's decrease the plastic, decrease some of the fumes. Let's look at some smart energy. You know, that's all I'm saying. All right. It looks like my laptop is about to die. So give me just a second, y'all, to cut on my charger. Oh, just a second. All right. So I'm back. All right. So we got a little bit of the not so great news out there. I do want to jump into a little bit of politics. Liberian girls. Okay, you guys are on the list today for top of the blogs. You all are having an additional runoff, right? So I believe maybe it was like a month or so back they had their presidential elections. Well, from what the people say, it was too close to call. So now they're having a runoff. I think it was somewhat of about 7,000 votes in between. So now they're having another runoff. I'm hopeful. You know, I was hopeful about Nigeria. I was disappointed. So now I'm going to transfer that hope to Liberia. I'm hopeful that Liberians will do what's necessary for their country to progress. And I hope that people will let the election process be honest and do what it's there to do. If we're going to adopt democracy, then let's really do democracy. Or if not, then let's just throw it away and do something else. But we can't keep doing this fake democracy. You know, these elections that aren't really elections, we can't continue to do that. So I'm prayerful for Liberia that this election will be fair, that it will be honest, that what the people want will be what transpires. All right. So let's keep our good eyes on Liberia and hope for the best. Y'all, I don't know why. Okay, there we go. So we have gone through quite a bit of information today. I think I've taken y'all all over the continent except Northern Africa, which is okay. Maybe they'll make the list the next time. So I want to end this one with some good news. There are some Grammy nominations. Okay, there are some Grammy nominations, and guess what? There are 3 new categories that the Grammys have come up with. Of those 3 categories that are new, one of them is, what is it called? Best African Music Performance. I'm super excited about this particular, what do you call it? Category, because I feel like this gives us a chance to continue to highlight our culture, to continue to highlight our diversity. And from the looks of it, we got another battleground between Nigeria and South Africa. So I want to read off the nominations. The first one is Asake and Olamide, which is Amapiano. I don't know all the words. But y'all know the words. Steady, Amapiano. So I think this is them kind of like showing homage to the Amapiano movement of South Africa. So that's one of them. Next up, you know, we have our favorite. You know, I'm a Burna Boy stan, so Burna Boy is played consistently in this house, considering that, you know, my partner is from Port Harcourt. So, you know, City Boy. City Boys. Are the City Boys up or are the City Boys down? I don't know. We'll figure it out when they have the Grammy Awards. The next one, we have Rush by Aya Star. I like Aya Star. I think she's been consistent in her hits. I just think that she just hasn't found her perfect timing yet. So I'm glad she got nominated. I'm not sure if she's going to win, but we do see your work, sis. We do see it. Next up, we have I'm unavailable. Them know they see me. I'm unavailable. Davido. David. Oh, okay. So yes, Mr. DeVito. We all know and love him. We've been listening to him for years. I feel like I was introduced to DeVito in like 2009 or 10. I was still in university, so I love me some DeVito. And then our bright and shining new rising star from South Africa, Tyla, who has taken TikTok, Instagram, and all the young people's social media sites by storm with her water challenge. You know, make me sweat, make me water. So she has also made the list for this best African music performance. So who do y'all think is going to win? Who do you think is going to win? Let me know in the comments. Who do you think is going to take the crown for Best African Performance at this year's Grammys? I'm excited. Just for this, I want to tune in because I want to see if they're going to ask any of them to come and perform, just to be truthful. All right. So thank you all. Thank you all for joining me today for our very first ever Top of the Blogs. You can always find me on Instagram. If there's something in the African news, something in the blogs that you want me to discuss, send it over to me on Instagram at Nzali Takes Africa. You can also send me an email, nzalitakesafrica@gmail.com, and I will make sure that I add it to our next Top of the Blogs that happens on Tuesday. All right, all right. Thank you so much again. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this channel. Share the channel, share the channel, share the channel. And also, if you are already subscribed, become a member today. All right, until next time, you all, bye.